morning. My name is Stephen Johnson Photography, and this is another in the series of membership bios for the members of the Trusted Referrals Group. In the studio today I've got Mr. Michael Mylne, and I'll leave it to him to tell you a little bit more about himself. So Michael, state for the record please your name, your company's name and what it is that you do.
My name is Michael Mylne. My company is called Elisi, and that means in Greek the solution. And what we do is we offer advice on compliance matters, and the areas that we specialise in is employment law, health and safety, fire safety, including fire risk assessments, for example, data protection.
Michael, how long have you been in business?
I've been in business since 2007, back in this country. Before then I was in Greece for 15 years on the island of Crete, and before that I was running businesses up in London.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. And what got you into what you do?
Once I came back from Greece I had to retrain and find a new way of life, as it were. And so I retrained to be a lawyer. I got a law degree. I then followed up with barrister qualifications, going through the bar finals. Then I finally got called in 2009.
When you say called to the bar?
Called to the bar.
So
yeah.
What is the difference between a lawyer and a barrister?
A barrister is a lawyer, but so is a solicitor. So the difference is, excuse me, between a solicitor and a barrister, and barristers tended in the past to deal with the advocacy in court, and solicitors were more an interface with the outside world, but that's changed a lot in recent years, and you can have solicitor advocates as well nowadays. So there are more similarities in that respect than differences.
Okay, that's interesting. And what do you feel is your unique selling point, your USP?
My USP, I think, is to take a relatively complex subject to make it easy for people to understand, and then once they understand what they need to do, they can then implement, and I help them write their policies and procedures to do so.
Sure, yes, and I can reiterate that because you've done the same for me in the past. I'm slightly dyslexic, I just do not understand lawyer speak, whereas you turned it into English for me and made it very simple to understand, so thank you for that. How long have you been a member of TRG, and how well does it work for you?
I joined TRG, I think, back in around about 2008, and I've been there ever since, so I'm one of the longest serving members, as it were. I find it very, well, obviously I find it helpful, because I wouldn't still be a member after all these years if I didn't.
Sure, okay. I know you'll probably say everyone, but what is your perfect customer?
My ideal client is a client that's a company that's of sufficient size that they're not big enough to have absolutely dedicated departments for things, but they are big enough that they take compliance seriously and are very conscious of their position in their marketplace, and they need that extra outside advice.
So it's quite a range. So you work for both individuals and small to medium-sized companies.
Absolutely,
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Your business obviously covers quite a broad range of services. What's your favourite kind of work and why?
I really enjoyed doing data protection, and with the data protection regulations, the GDPR coming out a couple of years ago, excuse me, is very much of the moment, and also post-COVID, with a lot more people working from home, data protection is going to become ever more important. So it's an area I'm very familiar with, and I can help people with, and I quite enjoy it.
Okay, that's fascinating. Now a little bit of personal stuff, if we may. What is your family status?
I'm single. I live in the village of Balcombe, about 3/4 of a mile off road, surrounded by trees and fields. I've got a dog there, Springer Spaniel. I have a partner, and we love where we live.
Excellent. Yes, you pointed out your house to me a little while ago on some drone footage I took with my new drone.
Certainly
That's
did.
Interesting. Tell us something about yourself that most people might not know.
The fact that I've travelled around and I've lived in different countries, I've experienced different cultures, I've had a range of different jobs, going back to the 70s, I was involved in shipping. In the 80s, I was involved in the video industry in those days, which was quite wild because it was all very new. And then I was off to Greece for 15 years, and then coming back and building up to doing what I do now. So the fact that it's the range of experience is probably something that people wouldn't be necessarily aware of.
Sure. What do you like to do in your spare time? I know you're interested in wine.
No, I am, yes. We like to travel a lot, especially in Europe, although we did recently do an Alaskan cruise, which was fascinating. But we go to France, if possible, 4 or 5 times a year. But we do enjoy our wine, yeah.
Why should someone out there want to hire you or make use of your services?
Why should they want to? The thing is that usually when people come and see me, they've got a problem of some sort or another. Mm-hmm. And what they're looking for is resolution, but they're also looking for candid advice. They don't want to be misled, or in a way, I'm not there to tell them what they want to hear, that I'm merely there to tell them what they can and what they can't do and how things are likely to turn out, given what I'm informed of. So I suppose in answer to your question, the key thing is that people can be confident in the fact that they're going to be given accurate, affordable advice.
Sure. Michael, and what do you feel is the best piece of advice you can give anyone who might be looking for your services?
By and large, the best piece of advice, period, is keep good records. The more record keeping you have, the better position you'll be in. Mm-hmm. And I'm a great believer in procedure and policies, and ideally, if you've got the right policies and procedures in place and you act upon them, the chances are you won't need to come and see me.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, you don't need to give the details of your phone numbers and email addresses. They'll mm-hmm. be on a slide that people can freeze frame at the end of this, but how do you prefer people to contact you and why?
I prefer emails because that way, from both points of view, we've got records of our interactions, and then we've got a written record of what we can rely on going forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael.
You're welcome.
That's the end of this interview. There will be others with all the other members coming later on. Thank you very much for watching.